Today, we are in Morristown, New Jersey, exploring the old Ford Mansion, which served as General Washington's winter headquarters during the winter of 1779-1780. We begin at the site's visitor center, which has a bit of history in its own right. Designed by John Russell Pope, the same man that designed the Jefferson Memorial in Washington, D.C. Pope took a good deal of design inspiration from George Washington's personal home of Mount Vernon. The center was built in the 1930s during the Great Depression. It features a number of exhibits, including documents, furniture, and other artifacts from the period. This one contains items pertaining to George Washington. This reads, "In the spring of 1783, the prospect of peace with Great Britain was in sight. Many officers of the Continental Army, tired of deteriorating conditions, demanded Congress to pay back salaries." In his last official address as General of the Continental Army, Washington implored his disgruntled officers to remember the cause for which they had fought. In doing so, Washington averted a potential coup d'etat. Words and deeds such as these contributed to the fascination with Washington from the time he first appeared on the battlefield. One eyewitness, Abby Robin, observed of Washington, "His reputation has at length arisen to almost brilliant pitch. Little did he know it would continue rising." The Society of the Cincinnati is the oldest patriotic organization in the United States. Dating to 1783, it was founded by officers of the Revolutionary War. They wanted to make sure that the 8 years of war, bloodshed, and extreme hardship that led to the birth of our new nation would never be forgotten. They also wanted to instill the enduring principles of American independence on the nation's future generations. The Society of the Cincinnati still exists today and continues to carry out its original goals. A few examples of early paper currency. Here is the Visitor Center's auditorium, which has a very definite 1930s feel to it. It's a short walk over to the Ford House, built by Jacob Ford Jr. in 1774, who bears no relation to Henry Ford, who founded the Ford Motor Company 130 years later. The home was completed just 2 years before the signing of the Declaration of Independence, when New Jersey was still a colony of the British Crown. Let's listen to our guide.
Why was he the richest man in the area? He owned iron mines. Think about what iron was used in daily life. Cast iron pots, pans, cookware, fireplace ware, door knobs. I mean, cast iron was in practically everything, which is why he was the richest man in the state. He and his wife had outgrown their home in the Mount Hope Rockaway area of New Jersey, so he built this home on 250 acres he acquired, right outside the little village of Morristown. The road, believe it or not, still existed. Ours was a dirt road that we call the King's Highway. The roads did go through his property. When war breaks out, Mr. Ford is a patriot. He will join the militia. So he's in skirmishes. There's some around here. The first Battle of Springfield he's in, some other skirmishes. He's out with his men. And in January of 77, he gets pneumonia. He died. Now, Mrs. Ford is a widow with 4 children. And now, in the fall of '79, there'll be a knock on this door, and someone from the commissary department of the Continental Army would inquire of her, may we use your home for winter and headquarters for General Washington and his staff. And she thinks about it. Okay. She will pack up her carpets, her porch.
Time to go inside, where we are greeted by this large main hall with entry doors on both the front and the back of the home. Originally the home's parlor, or what we would now call a living room, the front left room served the general's staff as a conference and dining area. Mrs. Ford and her 4 children were relegated to just 2 rooms in their home. Mrs. Ford and her 12-year-old daughter were in this room, which also served as the family's primary living space. While her 3 boys shared a room in the back of the house. As we enter the servants' wing of the home, we find the home's pantry and the kitchen, where both the Ford family and the headquarters staff meals were prepared, which made for some crowded conditions. Some 18th century fire extinguishers. We've moved up to the second floor of the servants' wing, where the family's help were housed, and at least for that winter, where Washington's domestic staff were also housed. A turnaround and a couple of steps up, and we are back in the formal area of the home and one of the bedrooms used by Washington's staff. The upstairs main hall, and the General and Mrs. Washington's bedroom. Another bedroom, this one used for aides and guests. Back into the main hall, and the home's last bedroom was used as Washington's personal office. Some historic places make the claim that George Washington slept here. At least with the Ford mansion, there is no doubt that he slept here. Not just for a night, but for the entire winter. We've just completed a tour of the Ford house here in Morristown, Virginia. It was Washington's headquarters at part of the Revolutionary War. It was very enjoyable. So let's give it a rating. On a scale of 1 to 10, Karen.
I'd give it a 10. It was interesting.
10?
Yeah.
I give it a 9.875. It was very good.
Tough.
Remember, life is a journey. Enjoy the ride, and thanks for watching.